Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. I hope everybody is doing well. You know, we have a heat wave coming Thursday, and I looked at the forecast. It's going to go on for the next 10 days. Man, I am not looking forward to this. So I'm going to relish in these 80-degree days that we got left, which is today and tomorrow. But we're going to talk about the cop that took out Tamir Rice. You know, I had to go, wow, I had to go back and look at how long it's been. This is going on the 10th year that Tamir Rice has been gone. Boy, time goes by fast, real fast. But it's sad because that young brother should still be here. He would be an adult man. He would be in his early 20s had he lived. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. That's right. He was 12 years old when he was taken out. That's right, Denise. Thank you. All right. So the cop, this animal that took him out, can you believe 10 years later, still running around out here trying to get a job as a police officer? You know, there's something I had said years ago. I said, when you do something to a child, I don't care even if you're a white person and the child is black. When you do something to a child, it is a very unforgiving public over that. It doesn't matter if a police department let you off the hook, said there was no wrongdoing. It doesn't matter if some court let you go. At the end of the day, you have to live in the public, and the public is never going to let you forget what you did to a child. Y'all remember that teacher that made a 4-year old clean a toilet? Her and her family had businesses. They had to shut down the business and run for their life. Jason Van Dyke, after what he did to Laquan McDonald, he had to go to jail. Those folks were shunned. That's why when his wife, Jason Van Dyke's wife, did an interview, she said their friends stopped talking to him. Yeah, nobody wants to be associated with a child killer, even if the child killer was a cop. Nobody wants to be associated with that. Yeah, they walked away from friendships and everything. They don't want to, nobody wants to be hooked up with that. And this dude, he don't seem to get it. Nobody is going to let him on a police force and he's going to be able to carry out that job. Now think about it. If something went down in your neighborhood, do you want to see this child killer show up? Nobody wants to see a cop like this show up, especially in your neighborhood where children are. This fool would get out the car and just start shooting, just like he did with Tamir Rice. It's a very unforgiving thing when you do things to a child, even when you're a civilian. Do something to a child and you watch the public reaction. That's why these people got to always go into hiding. You know, I remember when I was growing up, well, this girl was actually a few years ahead of me. You know, when I was in elementary school, she was probably in high school. It was a white teenager. She backed over. She was in a car. She was driving. I believe she was probably in the state of New Jersey. You got to be 17. So she had to be at least 17. Well, she backed up a car and did not see a black child behind the car. She ended up killing this little boy. This happened in the town that I live in. Well, after the incident, the courts actually let her off the hook and said the whole thing was an accident. It wasn't intentional. Guess what happened? They had to pack up and get the hell up out of this town. The courts may have forgiven you. The people in this town didn't forgive squat. That family, after she got off the hook for killing a little black boy with a car, they had to leave. They left probably a month or two after the courts let them go. They faced so much public harassment. They had to leave. And I think what made it worse, y'all, She was talking nonchalantly about it like it was nothing that she ran over this little black boy. And people here wasn't having it. They wasn't having it. And they literally had to pack the hell up and get out of this town. And I remember that because I was in elementary school. So now we have this officer. Now let's get to Timothy Loehmann. Let's get to this dude. So Tamir Rice, shooting officer, resigns from White Sulphur Spring Police Department amid outcry. Now, if you don't know where White Sulphur Springs is, it's in West Virginia. That's where it's located. So at the time when he killed Tamir Rice, he was a Cleveland, Ohio police officer at that time in 2014. So White Sulphur Springs Mayor Kathy Glover confirmed that Timothy Loehmann resigned. She stated that at the request of recommendation of the police chief for the city of White Sulphur Springs, Timothy Loehmann was hired as a probationary police officer. He's not even fit to do that. He's not fit to do that. He shouldn't be any kind of cop. I don't even care if it's a school cop. He shouldn't be that either. This man should not be any kind of cop, period. And at the will employees for the city of White Sulphur Spring, as of today, Monday, July 1st, 2024, Timothy Loehmann has resigned his position and is no longer an employee with the city of White Sulphur Springs. The decision to hire Loehmann has sparked outrage and concern within the community. Now, you know, it's not many of us in West Virginia. So, you know, these are not all Black men and women that are doing this. This is even people that look like Timothy Loehmann that are objecting to him being hired. So the shooting of Tamir Rice and its aftermath followed Loehmann throughout his career as he tried to apply for positions at different police departments, but left after backlash from local communities. In 2018, he was briefly employed at the Village of Bel Air Police Department in Ohio, but resigned shortly after. Now, that's when Tamir Rice's mother, Samaria Rice, that's when she got involved. She found out about him being hired and she got everything kicked off on him getting fired. That mother, man, I give a high five to that mother because she ain't letting nothing go. But she was the one that complained and got other people to protest, and they had to let him go. A similar situation occurred in 2022 when he withdrew his application from the Tioga Borough. Now, that's in Pennsylvania. I know where Tioga is, and that's when he went to Pennsylvania. Many of you may remember in 2022, and he got hired by the Tioga Borough Police Department in Pennsylvania. And same thing, public outcry. They had to let him go. They had to rescind their offer to him. And it just goes to show you nobody's going to sit by and remain quiet while Timothy Loehmann gets on another police department and start working. It ain't going to happen. Tamir Rice was killed in November of 2014. This is 2024, And you see people are not letting this mess go. As soon as they see and hear this name, they go after those police departments immediately. West Virginia NAACP President Loretta Young explained the WVNAACP that the community came together to ensure that Loehmann did not work for the police department and that communities have power to hold their elective officials accountable for similar situations. I would like to know the name of the person that hired him in the first place. That person needs to go. As the state president for the West Virginia NAACP, I understand the concerns of the White Sulphur Spring community in relation to hiring Timothy Loehmann. In reality, the West Virginia NAACP, unlike the ACLU of West Virginia, we are a volunteer organization. More importantly, I believe that this issue was a community issue which should have been led by community members. The Cleveland Police Department also dismissed Loehmann for his dishonesty on an application. But my thing is, why did you not catch that before you offered him a job? Why did you catch his dishonesty after Tamir Rice was gunned down? So, what kind of background check did you do on Loehmann? None, because I think y'all don't background check each other, but y'all background check us. I really truly believe that in many cases. So, on November 22nd, 2014, Loehmann shot and killed Rice, who was playing with a pellet gun outside at Cadell Recreation Center in Cleveland. Yeah, nobody will ever forget that. And the Cleveland Grand Jury and Critical Incident Review Commission cleared him of all charges. And he should not have been cleared of anything at all. He looks remarkably different now. Time is definitely not their friend. In a 10-year period, he changed dramatically. I mean, a lot. And it just goes to show you, certain people just don't hold up well to the test of time. Time will beat their ass every single time because this dude looked like he aged 20 years in 10 years. He really truly do. Well, I don't know why he continues. It tells me something's wrong with this dude. Anytime you've been rejected multiple times by the community from being a cop and you still are running around here 10 years later going from one police department to the next trying to get higher, it tells me something ain't right with you. Something's wrong with you. By now, in a 10-year period, you could have developed a skill in a whole different profession by now. I mean, seriously, you could have gone back to school and got into another type of profession. But this dude keeps going out over and over and over, getting police jobs. And then when people get wind of it, they got to let him go. And he just keeps repeating this cycle as if it's going to change. It tells me something mentally is going on upstairs. Something ain't right. Most people would have got it by now. I can't work as an officer anymore because of what I did to Tamir Rice. Most people would get that. and would just kind of move on and get into something else. Not this dude. This dude feels he is going to get a police job at all costs. He doesn't care. Yeah, yeah. Tempest 7-8. Yeah, he feels entitled. But shoot, how long are you going to hang on to entitlement already? It's been nearly 10 years. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your support. And I just want to say thank you to my people that give donations through Cash App and PayPal. I have not forgotten about you, and I do appreciate your support. And for everyone else, please enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be back again with another topic. Shalom, family.